Hello, so today we have this IBM PS2E, bit of an unusual little machine, don't see them very often. When I say little, it is not very big at all. So this was that 12 inches wide, about 12 inches deep, yep, exactly 12 inches deep, and 2 or 3 inches tall. So it is a funny little machine. Now it has this flap on the front, which hides not a lot really. It's got a, you can see there, like a low profile floppy drive, which is actually out of a ThinkPad, and it's got a pair of PCMCA slots. No CD drive or anything here. And then spin it round. Oh, I have a lock there, yeah, sorry. Spin it round, and it's just got some vents and some vents. Side falling off, don't worry about that. And then round the back we've got two more PCMCA slots. It's a bit strange, isn't it? Come back to that later. So it has a little bit of rust here, but it's not too bad. Otherwise quite good condition. Serial parallel, PS2 and VGA ports there. Rounding out the back is this adjuster power. There's not many screws on show here. It looks like that might have been a screw there, but this is meant to be a toolless entry case. There's a little clip around the front, so let's just find that clip, which is there. Lift it up. Oh, there you go, look. That absolutely slides off, no trouble at all. A little bit of trouble. So, what can we see here? Not much inside the case. So you got these big card here with the PCMCA stuff, and it has, oh, let's just switch that back. It has the floppy drive there and the power supply. This PCMCA card is quite strange, isn't it? It's the whole length of the case. It looks like ISA. Pair of slots front and back. It has these funny little solenoid things. I'm not entirely sure what they're about. But otherwise, yeah, it's just some ISA PCMCA interface. It looks quite clean in here so far. Let's go a bit further in. So going a little bit deep into the machine. See, it's quite clean. This power supply and floppy drive bit looks like it just lifts out. There's like a little ribbon cable there, but it's already disconnected. There you go, a little bit of persuasion, out it comes. See, it kind of swings over. A little bit dirty, a little bit of surface rust there, but it's nothing too bad. Let's remove the PCMCA card. So a little ISA riser. This is a bit easier said than done. Yeah, let's try taking the card out with the riser, see if that helps. Ah, there you go. That's like a funny, that's not an ISA slot there. It looks like MCA or PCI, doesn't it? It's certainly not. It's quite a lot on this card. So it's two cards mirrored with an Intel chipset. I suppose it gives you quite a bit of expandability really. PCMCA modems, network cards, CD drives, sound cards, all sorts. Let's look a little bit deeper in. So this looks like it's got some onboard RAM and some sort of 72-pin SIM upgrade. See if we can see what else is in here. Let's get the power supply out of the way. Not too keen on putting those wires, they feel a bit loose. I'll come out. There we go. Come back to this power supply a bit later. So what else have we got here? So that's that RAM I mentioned earlier. It looks like a 4 meg stick with 4 meg on board. Decent PC speaker and a nice CR2032 battery as well, so that won't leak. It looks like video RAM. This is an onboard XGA2. Now I think this goes over the ISA bus because this is an ISA bus machine. Was there ever an XGA2 and ISA? Not sure. Maybe it's MCA, that bit. No idea. Turn around, and we've got here this very delicate floppy cable here. And that is going to be completely unobtainium should I damage that, so let's be a bit careful with this. And here you got some sort of chipset. Is that OK chipset? Interesting. This looks like some sort of upgrade socket. Oh look, there's it's just an adapter there. I don't know what that array is called. So what's that for? An SLC2 is it? Is that what this is anyway? Masco Pro? Not sure. Anyway, there's the SLC. That's the 486, basically SX thing. We'll talk about that a bit more later on. Looks like I had on board something here that could be a SCSI once upon a time. Not sure. A few chips missing there, but there's the onboard IDE. Standard IDE. Let's just make sure that does actually fit an IDE cable. And no, it's got the little tab there. And on board it doesn't. It has like 2 tabs at each end and not in the middle. It does have the pin missing, so that helps me know what way around the cable goes. There's not room in this machine for 3.5-inch drive. It has a 2.5-inch drive, so I need to use an adapter cable. So let's look at this power supply. The whole thing has a floppy drive in it, which is that weird connector. So it's a TAC drive. I believe this is out of a ThinkPad. It's nasty, doesn't it? Let's just see what it is. 5, 12, minus 12, minus 5. Mainly a 5 volt. Okay, so that's easy enough to replace. Even with the minus 12, minus 5, using some sort of Pico ATX thing. Hard drive has this weird separate connector. That's where the hard drive goes. It's a 2.5-inch drive. Right, let's test out this power supply. So I need to bridge a couple of pins. Now, without hopefully blowing the thing up. But I need to do a power on off, so I need to short pin 4, the blue one, to ground. Just use a little bit of wire. Come on, there we go. No explosions. Let's test this main big connector, which is 5 volt one. Oh. No, that's like pulsing. That doesn't look good. Went up to like a volt, couple volts back down. That does not look good. Let's check out a couple of the other voltages. So I should have the 12 volts on pins 1, 2, minus 12 volts on pin 5, the brown one, minus 5 on pin 7, the orange one. Pins 1, 2 were the yellows. That's not looking good, is it? No, 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 nothing. So I did a bit more testing with a electronic load here on the different voltages, and it sometimes worked but generally didn't. It was just, yeah, I think this needs replacement. I did open up the power supply, but there was nothing obvious wrong, no obviously blown or damaged components. So what do I do now? Well, I have a plan. So here I am a few days later. Did a bit more playing around, could not get this power supply to work, so I have one of these. This is an ATX4 VC, so ATX4 vintage computers, where you put an ATX power supply in one end, and out the other end you get all the voltages. You get the plus minus 12, the plus minus 5, 3.3. There's nice fuses there, and it's got multiple other connections as well. So, in collaboration with one of these little Pico power supplies, 12 volts in, all the ATX out, goes in there, and it gives me all the voltages I could ever want. It doesn't want to sit fully in there, but I think that's going to be good enough. So I just need to work out a way of mounting this in here. So I need to cut the wires. I've got this guide here printed out, you can see there, that's from the Ardent tool. I'm just going to snip the wires off of the old power supply. Now they're not very long, they come out that corner right straight down onto the motherboard, so I need to get kind of as much as I can out of the power supply. But I want to leave a little bit in case I wanted to rejoin them on for some reason in the future. It's got these big thick ones here which carry all the 5 volts. I don't know why they're so thick, because it's only 5 volts at 4 amps, 20 watts. And then all the other ones. So this will snip these back as well. These ludicrously oversized and blunt wire cutters. So I'll work out how I'm going to lay the PCB out of that ATX4 VC. By the way, I'll put a link down in the description for that. As these have that simple, like no effort, no soldering clips, then I can just twist these wires and clip them in. And they are locked right in. You can yank on those and they do not come out. So I love that. Right, so this blue wire is the power on off, a soft power switch. So this needs to be grounded to make the power supply come on. This is a test here. I'm just going to find out a pin that's ground and shoot it out. And there we go, connect it up. Right, so how's this thing going to fit? Well, let's just see if it works first. I'll balance it on here where the cable's connected. There's a little white one in. This big one looks like it only goes one way. Yes, keyed. Good. Alright, let's plug some cables in. See if it works. I was going to find out this power switch, how this works actually. Let's do it. Because I've got it permanently grounded at the moment, so it will always be on. But it would be nice if that power switch just does do a short onto the board. So just into the case. There we go. It does. So I should just be able to connect that straight down to the switch to actually do the soft power. So it's not like a momentary switch, this is a stays on. And there you go, look, I have a green light. And it's counting the RAM, look at that. So I just want to solder on a connector to this blue wire, which is the power on switch. That will go onto the power on switch on the ATX4 VC. Just a quick little cable tie around these wires here to bundle them together, give them a little bit of a strain relief. And I've got to work out I'm going to mount this thing in the power supply case where it came from. So if I plug all the connectors in, and I'll try and find an angle it can sit at that also fits in the little Pico ATX power supply. If I can get it plugged in, just push that down, there we go. And that big 5-volt one. So to get these wires kind of where they were, I haven't got much to play with really, so I think I have to put this at a bit of an angle. This is extremely fiddly. There we go. So I can kind of go like that. I've got a couple of these different style of these little mini Pico power supplies, but this one's the smallest one and it's the official original one. The other ones I've got are kind of clones. That fits. And now there's one other cable I need to work out to route. If I can just stay right there. I reckon I can cable tie that into using the holes of the slots of the case. So now I need to get the power for the hard drive round. Now this power supply has a Molex. And there's the cable I'm using. This the 2.5 inch to 2.5 inch drive has got like a extra connector there, which I've cut off a while ago, and it's just got 2 pins for the power. So I could try and put that hard drive power into the clips, but it doesn't really go. So I reckon if I chop up this cable, take the 5 volts, and that's easy long enough to reach around. So obviously I need to stop the board shorting out the metal case, so a little card placemat, beer mat here thing, that'll do just fine. Okay, so the hard drive only needs 5 volts, so let's snip that starter plug off the end. I need the 5 volt, which is the red, so let's cut the yellow and black from one side, and I can then attach that to the hard drive connector. And there we go. I'll just trim those a little bit shorter, tidy them up so there's no chance of them shorting out. So this is where the power supply is going to go, so I'm going to mark out just the rough location of it, and then I can pull it all out and find some way of mounting it on. I reckon cable ties would be good, so let's give that a go. So let's just trim this placemat down so it fits underneath the little circuit board. Almost. That will do. Right, let's get all this out, line it all up. Obviously line up with my markings. This covers up on the holes a little bit, so there you go. Just like that. So I've got some of these little thin cable ties, and I can just poke it through 4 holes in each corner of the ATX4 VC through the slots in the case. Do that times 4 and it's held down. Right, and the last one, pull it tight. There we go. Snip those long bits off. That is going absolutely nowhere. Quite pleased with that. So, shall we see if it works? Let's quickly put this all back together. Let's take the old power supply out of the case it's in. Put the lid on, feed the 12 volt cable out of the where the IC cable went. Put a few screws back in. Mount the whole thing back in. Get it up. The floppy drive, the hard drive, get it all up. I'm just going to put a bit of tape around this connector. It's 2 pins going to that connector there. It's unlikely to come out, but better safe than sorry. Back all the way. Let's go and plug a keyboard, mouse and everything in. Now what I'm also putting in is a sound card. So I've got an ISA sound card here which I'm putting in to replace that PCMCIA card, that quadruple PCMCIA slot card. CMI 8330 something or other. It seems to work. And the moment of truth. Kind of see that. Power on. And there we go. It's counting to where I am. Excellent. So let's actually see if this machine does much. So it's got 8 meg of RAM there. Alright, so here we are. A booted machine. So put a drive in, wiped it, put DOS 622, Windows 3.11, a few bunch of drivers, and good old DOS bench. Let's try this out then. Let's do a 3D bench. Well, it's not lightning, is it? Yes, it's taken a while. .9. So it's actually ever so slightly slower than the PS2 luggable P75 I've got, which is a 486DX33. It's half the speed of a DX266. Actually, I just want to test the sound setup on this, because I tried Doom earlier and it didn't work. Let's just check this. So it's detecting it. Yeah, that works. Yes, that works. Cool. Let's just check Doom again. Sound Blaster 225.1. Music is Sound Blaster 220. No, that's really not right, is it? Strange. I'll come back to that another day. Doom runs though. Doom runs okay. So maybe we'll do a benchmark or two again. Well, GoPro not available. Quake needs a GoPro. This is basically 46SX SLC thing. Let's see what some of the other diagnostic tools make of it. So that's this info. 46SX50. And it performs just like a DX33. No, I'd rather have a DX33, I think. It does have a physical drive in it. Performs kind of as expected. And this is going to show us that it's slow. Come on. SX50 with a year 2000 bug. And come on, testing 80, 90, right down the bottom there. There you go, not as good as a DX250, as expected. And the RAM, we can see that the cache is 16K. So the fact it's 16K shows it's not a 486SX because they only had 8K. It is a 486 SLC2 clock double to 50 MHz. Oh, so this says 20 MHz. Cache check. We can see there's 16K. All 8 meg. Eventually is going to tell us, hopefully the same. Yep, 16K. Don't know why it says 20 MHz. I'm just going to ignore that because I know it is 50 MHz. Let's come out of this and let's just check Windows. I've got Windows 3.11 on here. Boots up in about, what, 10 seconds or so? And that all looks good. I've got sound working as well. So, thank you for watching. Now you get this PS2 Model E, little strange unit, back up and working. It's all seems to be running fine, so I will now hopefully do a follow-up video which will explore this strange CPU a little bit more, look at some more benchmarks, look at some games. And I might even have some accessories I'm going to try and customise for this machine. So look for a future video. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you later.